pleased to have the opportunity of coming to make this introduction on the Knowledge Portal team that will be working with us on implementing the portal for your institute. So the following slides actually was a presentation I made to the MRPAN last year. Was introducing basically why we would look at Knowledge Portal. I think it's relevant. So I'm just using some existing presentation to give you the background. So just for those that I haven't not met before, I'll give you a little background on myself. I'm a Canadian consulting engineer, and I started working as a project engineer, consulting area. I went on to become president of my own consulting firm. Later on, I actually started a software development company, and we developed architectural, engineering, construction, GIS, and other applications that ran on top of CAD, AutoCAD, and MicroStation CAD. So we've actually had a long history, and we give you the timelines. This would be probably in the 90s, so we started to develop GIS software. So our company had clients over 50 countries. We actually have software that was used to build the Hong Kong airport. If you had flying through the island, our software was used to do the survey and engineering on the Hong Kong airport, the Three Gorges Dam, and the island for the bridge between Denmark and Sweden. Okay? Our software was also used for the digital cadastral mapping for my province in Alberta. And since that time, I've now gone on to doing international consulting work in ICT, GIS, and over 15 years in this area. And I've worked in Asia, Americas, and Africa. Okay, so I have lots of stories I can tell you about my history over beer sometime maybe. So, this is actually something because, when I do capacity development training around the world, something really crops up all the time. This slide, I guess, really shows that, if you use the same old thinking, you'll always have the same results. So if you want to do something new, you have to change the way you think. And then the other one I like to always talk about is, we all like to stay in our comfort zone. And that is one of the reasons why people do not change, because it's easy to keep doing the same thing because you know how to do it. And in order to actually improve yourself, you have to aim outside your comfort zone. So that would be the only way you can improve your skills, your knowledge, your capability, and to be a better person at your job and life. Yeah? So that being said, I think I can say that Jonathan is definitely outside his own. So he's volunteered to come from Canada, spend a year in Mongolia to work with you at the Institute. So why do we need a knowledge portal? Because we really need to keep up. In fact, not only just to keep up, we need to catch up with the global village. And I think this will give you an idea, okay, of where we are today. So, if you go back in time to around the 1400s, so really the expansion of knowledge, the ability to learn more, started with the printing press, because the first time people had the opportunity to have mass-produce documents that they can spread out information to people. But since the printing press, and the emphasis on printed material, we've now moved on, and you can see in terms of the acceleration of growth to digital technologies, which has really accelerated. So we've gone from printing press to telephones, to fax machines, to computers, to the internet. So really the whole world now is connected. And so if we rely only on printing material, we will be left behind. So we really can't just rely on printed material to spread knowledge. We really have to now realize that we have to look at the digital internet as a vehicle for you to spread the information. So this is just another slide to show basically the same curve, except this is a log scale on the right, so look at it, it's actually quite steep. A log scale. So I think this leads back to the first slide. You see, change is happening, and if you don't change with it, then you will be left. And the other point is, we live in an age of accelerating technology, and so we need to accelerate your learning. So this one is very interesting. I don't know, everybody here has probably heard of Google. I don't know if you know, the chairman of Google is Eric Schmidt, and he did a conference in California where he actually made this statement. Every 2 days, we now create as much information as we did from the beginning of civilization to 2003. In terms of data, digital data is equivalent to 5 exabytes, which is 10 to the power 18 bytes every 2 days. So, interesting. So, what to do? Well, one thing we can do is create our own knowledge portal to assemble all pertinent project information to share. This is talking about our project, merit and assessment, to share with the ministries, IMAX students, and other stakeholders in Mongolia. So this portal will include basically, in our case, reports, presentations, training videos, podcasts in English and Mongolian, organizing them in a knowledge portal website so that all stakeholders can take advantage of it. So, I think if you look at the data we talked about earlier, the 5 exabytes of data every days or every 2 years, whatever. The issue there is really, if you look at it, it is all mostly in English. Okay? So all the information, 90-something% is English. So not knowing English, it puts Mongolia in a big disadvantage in terms of the ability to search for information and knowledge. So anyway, but we realized that issue, and that's why Mongolian translations, localization is an important part of our portal. So it will both be a digital repository of information and an e-portal, learning portal, which will be accessible to everybody. Okay, so we're actually focusing quite a bit into the learning part because a lot of people currently, a lot of groups like the Swiss and so on are building knowledge hubs, but they're really just libraries, digital libraries, right? Which is what I call a repository. But we want to go beyond just a library. We want to actually have courses. This is an opportunity because we haven't really discussed about the Institute. The Institute has an opportunity for specialists to actually build learning material that they can put on your own repository for other staff to actually benefit from that information. So we really want to use this portal as a prototype so that you can follow as the Institute, create your own, design it in your own way to disseminate information to your staff and whoever else you want to reach. And during this kind of project time, we will be training trainers, your own people that you've assigned. So hopefully we can help you make it happen. So why Moodle? Why the Moodle framework? One, it's architecture because it's using free and open source software. So unlike a custom-built knowledge portal, we do not rely on programming by an individual or individuals, which would make it difficult for us to modify, enhance, and adapt in the future. So this is actually an open source framework where we know the architecture, we understand how to operate it, and many users from high schools to universities around the world that have information that we can use. So it has built-in educational e-learning plugins, and we can add digital information repository, library, web mapping, and it also has an option for portability, which means that we can take a portion of it to assume that it has no internet and run the courses there. So the objectives are, one, to capture technical training digitally for storage and retrieval and knowledge hub via a web portal. And we can capture podcasts, seminars, informal presentations, and relevant expert discussions. And it provides a knowledge repository with e-learning modules via web. Okay, so the Knowledge Portal project, as we described earlier on merit assessment, we are embarking on actually capturing the information that we do in this project over the next 5 years with different ministries and partners. And our thinking is, from our experience in doing international work, is international projects are good. We have a portal for 5 years during the project. When the project ends, the portal disappears. So our discussions with the Institute of Geography and Geoecology is that we found a partner in the institute that was interested in the knowledge portal, and you have a willingness or agreed to actually carry on in the future after our project ends, which helps us to build sustainability. And for the Institute's commitment to carry on with the portal after our project ends, we are offering basically capacity building, technical assistance, and expertise from Canadian input during the project. So see that as a mutually beneficial partnership.
Тэгээ энэ бол харилцан бас бие биендээ үр өгөөчтэй, үр дүнтэй ажиллагаа болох.
So in fact, I think some of it will extend beyond just the knowledge portal, but the other things we will be doing together as partners. So coming back to the actual portal, so when we looked at the development of the portal, this little graphic that shows you that there are different components. The portal is not just a website, it requires a lot of inputs. Okay? So for example, you need content management, which is the information you want to put in the portal, you need to manage it, you need to catalog it, convert it into a suitable format, you need to place it in a certain place, and you need to have the searching capabilities to retrieve documents. So in the case of the Institute, you have 10 divisions. You need to go to the divisions and say what kind of digital data is useful for your portal, how you manage it, how you can organize it, and how you're going to search and retrieve it. So the second part is the e-learning team down below. Okay, this is a group staff that actually are tasked to take the subject matter from the experts and put it into a format that you can use. So it's not just a matter of going to some expert like myself and say, okay, give me the module. It is facilitating experts that maybe have not got the skills or the capability to actually work and create the formats you need. So you have trained staff that would actually understand how to talk to the subject matter experts in order to help them produce material, take their knowledge and put it in a package that can be used in them. So of course, I mean, we have subject matter experts in merit assessment, but also the Institute has, you have your own experts in here that you can tap. Okay, so in the content, you have the e-learning team, you have subject matter experts, and of course you need the web.
Дээрээс нь бол web management гэдэг хэсэг байна.
So many organizations I've seen here in Mongolia starts with the wrong place. They start with the web, okay? And they have not even thought about content, they have not thought about e-learning, they have not thought about subjects. So I'm not saying that's not important. All four pieces are important, but it is an area where you need the other pieces to actually make the website. So it was all work together. I think on the website, obviously, you need programming, Python programming, you need basically database management, ability, and so on. But that is really to work with. So you have to set up a system, and the system has to work step by step, and you build on the portal. Having said that, then let's go to the Merit IGG partnership. So this is where I'm just going to talk a little bit about the organization structure. So for the IGG partnership, we have basically what we call a PTA, a project technical advisor, which is myself. And then we have a project officer from Merit, which is Amar. And I guess there's a counterpart, Bullimar, here, okay, at the Institute. And then we have what we call 2 long-term advisors coming. Right now, Jonathan is here, and I think maybe after Madam, Lyndon or Hope. And then we have 4 what we call short-term advisors. Probably be myself and maybe some others, including ICT specialists from the Philippines. So you might say, well, why ICT specialists from the Philippines? Because we have actually trained these people under other Canadian projects. They're people that I've worked with and trained. And so we have now trainers there, and I think it's a good opportunity to exchange ideas by bringing in people from outside and then share it with Mongolians at the same time. So hopefully in the future we can have exchanges from Mongolians to some other countries. So the work plan for 2017. So what do we plan for 2017? I guess what we would like to do is to set up, well, we're setting up in your facilities with Jonathan, the office. And we're going to install the Moodle server. This is a prototype in the office. Then we can do some testing this year. Yeah? And then we need to design the repository metalogging system. So that's a rigorous exercise. So the merit assessment, content management. So our intention is to develop and train e-learning teams. Yeah. So as an example, Zula is part of our merit e-learning team. So she is learning how to capture videos, work on the data collection for seminars and so on, and PowerPoints, okay, and conversion, translation with other members. Okay. So on a more technical side, then we're looking at logical and physical database design and Python training, and then initiate web mapping integration into Moodle. Okay, so as we're doing this for merit assessment, we're paralleling it with the IGG team, so we can learn, they can learn from us, and we can help you work on your internal system. So, I mean, from my experience, things don't just naturally happen. So you do need organization and management, otherwise it won't happen. Right? So I think on the institute side, you do have to create a working group because you have those 4 components, and you need to then assign responsibilities, tasks to the teams, so that we know who is responsible for what, and then we can work with your people. And then that's it. So that's all. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.